So, hi friends, today we have taken a topic, something called let's speak English. And this particular topic, we are going to make it a practice in our day-to-day life. I mean, we are going to this particular things. It's called Let's Speak series, and this particular series is going to stay with us as long as you are with me. Because what I can understand that you guys are able to comprehend everything whatever I'm going to do or whatever I'm going to give you, but the problem is that practice is not happening. So I thought it is high time for us to focus more on the practice part, right? So I'll tell you how to do practice, all the fundamentals, then I'll give you, I'll assign you some task today. So I believe you can do that because it will be very simple. You can speak it up. So as you are aware, every time uh, we are learning something new only to you know speak in a later part of our life. But what is more important, my friends, you all have to understand that.
Yeah, sorry for the disturb you. Sir, is there audio issue, sir?
Audio, any problem?
Yeah, now it's
So basically, what happens? Most of the time, we are not able to speak it correctly. Even you understand the concept, it is quite difficult. We are not able to speak it correctly. So why this is happening? It's happening because of the fact that it is happening because of the fact that we don't know how to practice the same. We don't know how to do the practice, right? So today I'm going to tell you something about, okay, so our topic for today, let's speak English, right? So whenever you want to speak English, it has basically, all I can say, it has three forms, right? Or you can say three organs or three, basically, all I can say that, let me tell you, it's quite difficult, to find out what are the parameters responsible, but let me put out three things here. Whenever I want to speak English, let me tell you, we have to focus on three things. One is called the structure. What do you mean by this? It means how to make sentence as per the situation. That means how to make sentence. Quite important. This is the first one. And the second thing is something called the vocabulary. And obviously, this is something also very important because you need to use a lot of vocabulary whenever you're trying to speak it. So something called, this is called word power. You should have a solid, a vocabulary. The third thing is called practice. Why practice is important? If you know the structure, if you know the vocabulary, why practice is important? It's because of the fact that spoken English is a skill. A skill is being perfected by doing a lot of practice. So that's why practice is very important. So I'm going to give you some tips and I'll tell you what are the hurdles, what are the challenges you face whenever you do practice or whenever you practice spoken English. What are the problems you're facing normally? Let me tell you, every problem starts with you. Then you will be quite surprised. So how you can say, because I want to speak English, but you are telling you are the problem. Yes, not you are the problem. Your mental is the problem. You have a very negative mentality. Why can't you speak English? Let me tell you why. So practice is very important, right? If you want to be fluent, you want to speak English perfectly, then apart from structure and vocabulary, practice is very much important. Then what is the problems, what are the struggles? Let me tell you, my friends, spoken English is a skill, and this particular skill can be acquired through a lot of practice, or you can perfect this particular things by by using practice. So practice is very vital, right? So whenever you have learned bicycle for the first time, even in spite of falling down time and again, what you did, you really work hard. You try to do it once more, once more, once more, and you have perfected it. So everything, even you'll ask me like, no, how could I able to speak with this much of speed or accuracy? That is because of practice. Okay, so I have undertaken so many practice sessions with my colleagues, with my friends. A lot of things happens, but what is the problems I can find it? That is called spoken English is a skill actually. Okay, spoken English is a skill, and this particular skill can be acquired. This particular skill can be acquired through practice. Okay, so what are the challenges you face? Most of the time, you play to the gallery. Then you will be quite surprised. What do you mean by playing to the gallery? Whenever I say playing to the gallery, that's very important. Playing to the gallery. What do you mean by playing to the gallery? Whenever I say you are playing to the gallery, most of the time what happens exactly? You can say like, no, playing to the gallery means like you are always looking for the, what others thinks whenever you want to speak. That's happening with 90% of the people. Suppose Indra, I mean, let me tell you, Swapna ma'am, Indra sir, Liton sir, Rashmi sir, whoever is there before me, Romi ma'am, whenever you try to speak it out, you always think, what will the person think? What will the other person think? Whether am I right? So you become too judgmental and something is playing to the gallery. Playing to the gallery means whenever you always look for the opinion of others. Whenever suppose I am doing the work, I'm just, am I okay? Is it right? Is it right? Is it right? That means what? I'm as if I'm not interested for my own improvement, rather I'm very much interested what others are thinking about me. That's the exact thing happening to you. You are always playing to the gallery. Why you are playing to the gallery? Let me tell you, most of the time whenever you speak, you always say, sir, I am nervous. Why? Because I'm not getting the right structure, I'm not getting the vocabulary. No, that's wrong. You don't want to make mistake. That's the problem. Simply, you don't want to make mistake. You always want that I should speak means I should speak as a perfect speaker, which is impossible, my friends. Impossible. You have to make mistake. This is spoken English is a skill. Whenever a new skill is acquired, mistake happens. Let me repeat it once more. Whenever a new skill is acquired, mistake happens. Cooking is a skill. Ask all the madams. They must have made some mistakes in their life. Driving is a skill. You must have made some mistakes in your life. 100%. Because it is a skill. Skill set, whenever it is acquired, obviously you are bound to make mistakes. But you have a very blocked mentality that I don't want to make mistake, but I want to speak perfect English, which is impossible. Which is completely impossible, my friends. You have to make mistake to acquire a skill. That's all. That's only thing. Okay. And you are always playing to the gallery. What is playing to the gallery? Let me tell you what are the challenges and what are the challenges you are facing. The first problem is that you are trying to, you don't want to make mistake. That's happening with 90% of the, people. They always feel, I don't want to make mistake, but I want to speak English. How can you speak English? Because it is a skill. And whenever a skill is being acquired, obviously some mistakes are bound to happen. And this is the first challenges. You can say these are the challenges or obstacle. Okay. The first challenge is that you don't want to make mistake. The second thing is that you are too judgmental. My dear friends, I request everybody, because this session is going to be quite interesting. And if you're really interested to speak English, you have to go through the process I'm going to tell you. Please don't omit anything. Don't try to, just, pay utmost attention, at least, because we are almost, in the reaping part. That means we are, if you'll ask me, I'm a farmer. I've already put a lot of seeds here and there, and I give all the things. It is a time to reap the benefits. So that means it is the time you can speak English. And these classes from today onwards, whatever the classes I'm going to take, it is quite interesting because it is going to help you 100%. It is something called direct help, not indirect help. Okay. So what I can understand from here, you don't want to make mistake. That is your block mentality. Because I don't know why. Because if whenever I speak something new, obviously I bound to make mistake. But you don't want to make mistake. No, sir, I don't want to make mistake. I always fearful of about my mistake because I always feel inferior. If I'm speaking something else before Litton sir, then Litton sir, what Litton sir will think? You are always looking at the opinion of others, not how exactly you are trying to. Yesterday, you are not able to speak one sentence. Today, you are able to speak one sentence. That means you are improving. What is the, why you are going to compare? Why you are going to take the opinion of others? That's the problem. The second thing is that you are too judgmental. Whenever you're trying to speak, every step you are thinking, am I okay? Am I okay? Am I okay? Am I okay? Like that. So what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Let me tell you. Let me tell you, like whenever I am going to, whenever I am going to tell you something about you are too judgmental, I request everybody please mute it. The session is in the recording mode, so please mute it. So you are too judgmental. What do you mean by that? Every step you are always thinking, am I okay? Am I okay? Am I okay? So what again? It is something very detrimental. Neither you are able to achieve the fluency level, and most of the time you are not able to get the right words because your focus is how to not make mistake. How to not make mistake. That is impossible, my friends. So let me tell you, I'm going to give a very beautiful story. Here is a tiger. This is the tiger, and this is the deer. This is the deer and this is the tiger. If you have a little bit knowledge about wildlife and other things, tiger maximum speed is 90 kilometer per hour in Indian condition, right? And that of deer is 120 kilometer per hour. What I mean to say, a deer can run as fast as 120 kilometer per hour. Quite interesting. Tiger can run at a speed of maximum. I'm talking about the maximum here, 90 kilometer per hour. But you know that whenever there is a change, whether it is you have seen it in the live or it is in the TV, the tiger catches deer. How it is possible? Miracle. Is it something called miracle? No. The fault with the deer. Do you know what exactly the deer do? Suppose this is tiger and this is deer. They start from 1+. Whenever the tiger chases a deer, obviously to save himself, to escape from the jaws of tiger, it starts to run. That's 100%. And this guy follows it. So what happens, since there is a gap of 30 kilometer per hour, after going some distance, the deer always looks back whether that tiger is catching up. Then he'll find that the tiger is coming. Then he goes little bit like that. Most of the time, he's looking here and there, looking back, looking here and there, right? But this guy never looks here and there. That means what I mean to say, whenever you are trying to speak, don't look for the opinions of others. Maintain the consistency that I have to speak. Even I'm making mistake, it's okay because it's a new skill. I'm trying to acquire it. You become a deer there. And that's why you are not able to speak English. Always be the tiger. Don't be the deer. What exactly happens most of the time you can find it out. You are always, am I speaking right? If you say for 5 sentences, the next sentence you are not getting, You are not getting. I actually you are getting, but you are more interested on the playing to the gallery. What others are thinking, what Prasanna sir will think. Why you are so much interested what I am thinking? Why you are not thinking that, look, just 1 month before, I was not able to speak a single line. Today, I'm able to speak one line. Tomorrow, it will be two. Then it will be multiplied. So I'm really improving. Why you are not getting inspiration from your own improvement plan rather than thinking what Litan sir will think, what Supna madam will think, what Indrajit sir will think? Why you are thinking like this? And that's the problem. That's the problem. And that's why I told you, you are too judgmental. Every time you are absolutely judgmental, thinking that whether I'm making mistake, whether I'm making mistake, no. Whether you are making mistake or don't make mistake, it doesn't matter because it is a skill and the skill has to occur whenever you're trying to do a new work or a new task or something called new skill. You are trying to learn a new skill, whether it is driving, writing, cycling, jogging, anything, public speaking, spoken English, these are called skill. Even singing, dancing. Look, even you have seen, like, no, a very proficient hero takes 5 to 6 shots before making a perfect. No, action, camera, then light. But no, it's not done. Second one, third one, even Amitabh Bachchan, such a megastar, people call. Do you think that a one shot everything is done? So if that's not possible with him, then why are you so worried about your mistake? Why are you so worried about a mistake? If you are doing mistake, that means you are trying something new. So that's why this is a problem. You don't want to make mistake. That is the first problems you are facing, and this is the problem with you only. I already inform you. The problem is with you only. If you want, you can speak. If you don't want, you cannot speak. So what is more important, my friends? Always think that you don't want to make mistakes. That's a problem. You have to make mistake, or sometimes it happens. There's nothing called, that's something beyond your capacity, because you don't know everything. I'm able to speak because I have done a lot of practice, or I did a lot of practice in the past, or I have taken a lot of I'm in session with different persons, different people, different personality. But that's not happening to you. Okay, the second thing is that whenever I speak, if you ask about me, I've never become judgmental. Maybe I'm making some mistakes, okay, chalega, next time I can do, but don't be judgmental. And the third thing is that you always compare with others. You always compare with others. What do you mean by that? Suppose in a group of, it's not like a one-to-one session. It is one-to-many session, right? In this particular, suppose Devas is speaking well. So that time Rasmi sir will think, wow, Devas is speaking well. I cannot speak. That means compare. Why you're comparing yourself? That's the problem. Once you compare yourself, there is something called inferior mindset comes. Oh my God, look, this guy has a big building. I have a small building. But why don't you think that just 5 years before, I don't have a building at all? Today I got something, one building happens. Tomorrow I can make it. Let them do that. Why your comparison happens? And comparison is a problem. There's no comparison between sun and moon. Then why you're comparing with one person to another? Because your thinking capability, your way of thinking, your way of learning, your way of speaking, your environment is completely different of a person of a different capability. But still you compare. Suppose you are in a group of 5 people are there, you still compare. Look, I cannot speak English. Look, how Rasmi are speaking absolutely well. That guy must have done. Then who is stopping you to come to that level? You are not trying to compare. Don't try to compare. And this is the problem. And the last one I want to tell you, my friends, you always want to speak with lengthy sentence. No, that is also a problem. Don't try. Suppose, let me give an example. Let me give an example. Suppose I say, please tell me something about, Litan sir, please tell me something about spoken English. Look, You know that how to speak in English, I mean Oriya. But whenever it comes to English, just sir, spoken English is a global language. I like English very much. After joining, I am learning English. I want to improve in this subject. Look, 4 sentences you have already spoken unknowingly. You don't know. You are speaking. So that is called bringing the, something called bringing something called the flow. You have to bring that flow with you. How can nobody in the world has spoken the way I'm speaking right now. When if just go back to 5 years before, 10 years before, do you think I was speaking like this? Impossible. If I'll say that is completely a hollow promise, that means I can say it is a completely a false thing. Today, whatever, maybe after 10 years, I'll be again fluent because the process is going on. Exactly same thing happens with you also. So these are the 4 challenges, and all the challenges with you only, my friends. Take it out. There's nothing called extra thing. You don't want to make mistake. That's your problem. Why don't you want to make mistake? Why you are always judgmental? You are too judgmental. You always compare with others. You always want to speak with lengthy sentences. So whenever you want to use this kind of 4 things, it is quite difficult for you to speak English, my friends. If you want to really look, I have already given you some structures. Even if I'm making on the structures, leave it to me. I'll give a lot of explanation. Vocabulary, some things I've given you, but still a lot more is should be I mean to be given to you. It's okay. I'll give you that. And the third thing is I'll practice. This is something that you have to take very, very seriously. Please take this very, very seriously. Right? So this is something called my part. I have already going to impart or going to give you. But whatever the practice comes under your belt, you have to do that. If you don't want to do that, I'm sorry that you cannot speak English. You cannot speak English, and you'll be, you'll throughout the life you'll be only, thinking I can speak, but you cannot speak because you have all the problems. You always think, नहीं मेरे को perfect बोलना है, नहीं कभी नहीं होगा sir. You are bound to make mistake. You are bound to. You are not. This is something called nature. You cannot go. Don't try to go against the nature. Don't try to go against. ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ଯଦି ଆପଣ you are all well educated, ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ଯେତେବେଳେ ନୋବେଲ ପ୍ରାଇଜ ମିଳୁଛି, ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ନୋବେଲ ପ୍ରାଇଜ ପାଇଁ ଆପଣ ଦେଖୁଥିବେ ଚୁଟି ପାଚି ଯାଉଛି, ତା ମାନେ କଣ? How many years of research? Can you imagine? But ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ମିଷ୍ଟେକ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, my God, I made a mistake. Why? ଆପଣଙ୍କ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଭଗବାନ ହେବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି? So make mistake. Solution is that make mistake. Dare to make mistake. ठीक है? I am going to speak 5 words, 2 words, sir. Suppose Rasmi sir is going to say 10 words. Okay, five sentences. So that time Devasis can say 2 sentences over. But you always think that yesterday compare your performance with yourself. Don't compare with others. Suppose if you'll ask me, day before yesterday I was not able to speak, but today I can able to speak. Tomorrow, obviously, I'm going to make it feel like that. So comparison happens with yourself, not with others. Don't be too judgmental. Whenever you're trying to speak, focus on your speed and other the related things. What are the things? Am I using the right structure, vocabulary, and let me do something. In the meantime, is it okay? Is it okay? I'm speaking. That means your mind is getting distracted there, and a distracted mind cannot concentrate. And there is no concentration, there is no speaking. You know very well. Whenever I distracted, if somebody calls me, sir, if I'm going there, how can I speak? I'm speaking because I'm in a flow right now. Try to understand. I'm in a flow. A lot of things are coming automatically because I'm in a flow. If the flow is broken, then again I'll ask, sorry, where am I? Like that I can say, can you just remind me why this happens? It's because of that the flow is broken. And you guys tell, sir, I'm not getting words. You are getting words, my friends. But psychologically, you are paralyzed. Why? It's because you think that, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? You are playing to the gallery. Don't play to the gallery. Nobody is going to judge you. You are the best judge for yourself. If I am making a mistake, then Rasmi sir, what is the problem with Rasmi sir? I make mistake, I can rectify. The trainer is there. So think like this. And the third thing that always compare with other, that don't compare. Solution is don't compare. मेरे को क्या बोलना है क्या करना है आई शुड नो बिकज माय वे ऑफ टीचिंग देखो आपण को भितर किए माने इंग्लिश रे टिके आगुरु भलो होतिला कार भी खराब होईची किए जमारू इंग्लिश पढु नथिले से भलिया पिला भी अछंती बट व्हाई शुड आई कंपेयर नो कंपैरिजन जस्ट टुडे आई जस्ट जॉइन इट्स अ न्यू डे फॉर मी and I learn something. If you don't understand anything, call me off and check it out all the things. And the last one is you always want to speak with lengthy sentence, which is absolutely wrong. Start with very small sentences. Small sentences. Suppose I'm going to give you a topic. So tell me what will happen if you be the Prime Minister. Sir, I'll be the Prime Minister of India. I want to do this kind of things. Very small sentence. Very small. Just try to speak four sentence over. What you can understand from this particular thing, you can get, okay, I am able to speak something today. So, your confidence will be boosted up. Once your confidence is boosted up, it's just like a cricket game, sir. Your mentality, there is strong mentality. Obviously, even you have a very peculiar situation. There are 5 batsmen, 2 runs, you can win. That is how the Dhoni was able to do. Why that we Indians are lacking that right now in the international front. Exactly same thing is happening. Whether it's the topic is big, topic is small, forget it. I have to speak. How? Very simple way I have to speak. Nobody is going to check your flowery language. Everybody is going to check whether you are able to speak it. Suppose you say, sir, I could not attend the class because I was suffering from fever. It's okay. If at that time Rasmi said, sir, I was down the fever, so I could not attend the class. That's okay also. But at least speak. It's not like that going, sir, why you are trying. And second thing is that, let me tell you, very important. This part, particular thing, the judgmental part is actually draining a lot of your energy. You are absolutely judgmental in each sentence. You utter something, you become judgment. No, you are not asking anything, but suppose you say, okay, sir, India is a democracy. Suppose you are trying something about India. The India is India is a big country. India is the 7th largest country in the world. It is the 2nd largest democracy. Like that. Why you are trying to judgmental on yourself? There is a person who is standing before you. He will judge it. But you are going for the performance and you become the judge. Then what is the need of this performance? Try to understand. Be logical. And look, everybody, let me tell you, those who are before me right now, everybody is, okay, they can speak English. The problem is that whenever you want to speak English, it is, something called, you always compare with others, you always want to speak with lengthy sentence. The problem is that you are not able to speak it out. You are not able to speak it. It's because of the problem that, that's something called, this is something called structure and vocabulary, and all things are there, but it's completely draining your system because of these things. You are too judgmental. You are absolutely judgmental on each and everything. That's the problem. That's the problem. Why? It's because of the fact that you are not able to speak this particular language. You just take care of the 4 ones. You don't want to make mistake. You are too judgmental. You always compare with others and you always want to speak with lengthy sentence. Please take care of the 4 things that started with you. It all starts with you. All the things starts with you. Then if you just take care of the 4 things, practice becomes just like, it becomes it just become a cakewalk for you. And you can easily speak it up. Are you getting my point, everybody? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So this is something called, 1 minute, please.